to the Mega Cast. Tyler, I will say during the break, I've been snacking on my Puchki here. There's a custard one and a strawberry. And I really got the strawberry for my husband. But I'm like, can I take the calories out?
That would make it a lot better. That would make it a lot more fun, you know. You wouldn't have that little guilt in the back of your head being like, oh, we shouldn't be doing this, and you could still have all the enjoyment of your custard-filled punchki.
Well, I will say that I'm giving them up for Lent, so I won't have them for the next 40 days.
That is a great idea.
Does it taste anything different than a donut?
What? With us now, Christine Quane.
Shocking entrance.
And I'm like, you are with the Food Hub and Animation Director for Eastern Market Partnership.
Yes.
How can you even ask such a question? They are not a jelly donut. They are heaven. Have you ever gone to Hamtramck to get yours?
Yes. I like the traditional flavors, the plum and those coming out of things that you don't normally find at a Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, not like a jelly donut, but like a prune, plum.
Yes.
I will say I did cheat and I got mine at Dunkin' Donuts. And they're not the same. If you have never gone to Hamtramck, to Martha's Bakery and some of the other bakeries there in Hamtramck to get, punchki, you have to at least once in your life, especially if you're here in the Metro Detroit area. But I know, Christine, you said that you're still at home this morning because of the snow.
Yes. It's a lot. I haven't even attempted to shovel, so I'm glad we're doing the Zoom.
Exactly. But with that, when it comes to Eastern Market, how are you guys doing right now during the pandemic? I've been to the farmers market a few times, and it's still a pretty decent crowd. Not where we used to be, but still pretty popular.
Yeah, we've had to do a big pivot to change our operations to make sure that it's safe for all of our patrons coming in. And one of the things that we decided to do by mid-March, I think, when we knew that the pandemic was serious and we were all starting to be on lockdown, we decided to try out making an online platform for our Saturday market so that we could offer touchless curbside delivery to those who still wanted local and fresh food but didn't feel safe to come out to the market. So we launched an online platform in 10 days from idea. We started with a pilot of 50 produce boxes. So what we decided to do was we support about 45 small farmers. And so we created a produce box of fresh Michigan produce and launched with 50 of those, sold out in an hour. The next week, we upped our game to 150, sold out in an hour and a half, and then started to add in all of the value-added products like, bread and eggs and jams and jellies. And somewhere in there, we had to change our online platform and adapt to this whole new program and way of doing things safely. But now we're still doing that. And now we have I think a system that will not go away anytime soon. And actually this particular online platform has, I think, brought not just folks who prefer to have a curbside touchless delivery, but other folks that might have been maybe unable to handle the crowds, maybe have a physical disability of some sort. And it just made us more accessible to a new group of people. So kind of a benefit that came out of this pandemic is this program. And other things that we've done in the Eastern Market is we've separated our vendors. We've spaced out folks a lot. We've added visual signage around the market, urging people to spread out. And we have our staff that have masks for people who might forget them in their car or at home. Hand sanitizer and washing stations. And we've just really tried to think of everything that we can that would make people safe and feel comfortable coming to the market.
And the good thing is, it is a little bit more open air in some of the
Yes.
sheds too, the outdoor sheds. But if we can go back to a minute about the prepackaged boxes, have you seen it ebb and flow as the restaurants open and close as well?
Yeah. So in the first, like I said, we were selling out a ton every week, and I think the height of the produce boxes was probably in May. We sold about 350 per week then, and it's actually, it's come down a lot as people feel more comfortable getting outside and going to farmers markets on their own. That number has dropped. We have seen a slight uptick now that the weather is cold and people would kind of rather stay in their car. So I think we're seeing that as well.
But what does this mean on the backside for those local farmers? Are they doing better or worse during this time?
I think that they're doing okay, happily to say. We've been able, this program has actually, before this program, we ran a brokerage for the small farmers direct to restaurants. The program's called Grow Eastern Market. And we were selling a decent amount of produce from our farms every single week, but this really amped it up for us. And I think connected more of our farmers to a new direct-to-consumer market. And so we've actually been able to move considerably more food through this program than our previous program, which we continue to do. But it's since that program's designed to service restaurants, the direct-to-consumer is actually, obviously moving more produce right now. So I think they're doing okay. I think that the pandemic has really awakened people's sense of what local food is and how important it is. I think there's something about the Michigan spirit of supporting local, kind of in our soul with the automotive industry. Like, we understand what it means to, buy from the big three automakers and how that supports our economy. I think the same message translates now in local food. I think people get that.
Christine Quane with us here on the MegaCast. She's the Food Hub and Innovation Director for Eastern Market Partnership. And with that, Christine, it's like you said, before it was so easy to maybe go to the grocery store, especially way back in the beginning of the pandemic when that supply chain was disrupted, people were going local. And now we're looking at it, and agriculture plays a huge part in our economy here in the state of Michigan. So are you seeing, or do you anticipate coming out of post-pandemic, if we ever get there, people are going to continue to buy local?
Yeah, I think it's been a great opportunity for people to understand the importance of local. And also, our produce box features all Michigan farmers. And it's been a great opportunity for us to teach people what's growing in the seasons and to teach seasonality. And we've recently added a Facebook Live event on Saturdays where we're making recipes with the produce from the produce box for people who get our produce box. So that's been really fun too. And a new way to kind of teach people seasonality, how to cook with things that maybe they wouldn't normally cook with. And we've been getting a ton of feedback from a lot of our customers about, how they are trying produce that they haven't tried before, interesting squashes and bok choy and other things that they just didn't even know that we grew in the state of Michigan. And yeah, I mean, Michigan, that's our second economic driver, is agriculture and agribusiness. And we grow over 150 different specialty crops here. And I think a lot of people don't realize all the things that we can grow and that we're still growing. I mean, our box is still a local box, and here we are, in the middle of February, and still putting greens and squashes and root crops in our box and teaching people the importance of eating seasonal produce.
This kind of feels like the better version of some of these home delivery services. So we used to do one, and you go in, like you pick your meal every
Right.
2 weeks, and then they'd send it to you once a week, and you can make it, and everything's in the box. But this seems like a better way to do it, especially if you can teach me how to use those vegetables and some of the ingredients that come in the box, because it does introduce you to new foods.
Absolutely. Yeah, we had this really interesting, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it right, Takasumo squash, and it was huge and it was intimidating. But we offered two different recipes, and the squash actually made enough puree to go into both. And it was fun because one was a risotto, which was a savory risotto, and the other one was a quick bread. So you could have, squash for dinner and dessert. So it's been fun.
That is great. Risotto is so hard to make, though, or make well.
Just needs a lot of stirring.
So with that too, Eastern Market is more than just about the market. You guys do so many events, but also you rent out the sheds for a lot of events as well. Has your bottom line taken a hit because you can't have that source of revenue?
It has. As we have been renovating the sheds, we've put about, $18 million back into renovations of the sheds over the years, and they're beautiful. And more and more people have wanted to use them for weddings and special events, and people continue to do so. And we have been able to do a few events, but clearly not like we were, pre-pandemic. So it has been, sadly, something that, we have seen less activity on, but, I think we're going to start to see a few more things pop up as we are able. So
But Eastern Market, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just hopefully we'll be able to do more and more of that as the months come on.
Especially going into the spring and the summer. Let's hope so. With that, though, we do know that Eastern Market, you guys are a huge partnership in the community. How have you had to adapt that side of your operations during this time?
I think that we realize the value of our partnerships more now. In the time of crisis, you really reach out more to your partnerships to become a stronger organization. And one of the ways that we've been able to do that is we applied for and were awarded of the USDA Farmers to Families program during the height of the pandemic. And that USDA program was centered around creating a food box like we've been doing for our curbside, but this particular food box went to families who were food insecure in the city of Detroit. So we partnered with 12 of our nonprofit partners who are on the front lines of food insecurity and produced 2,000 food boxes per week and got it to those organizations. So it was, we did that from May into the middle of September. It was quite an effort but something that we take a lot of pride in and we were happy to do.
That is a huge undertaking.
Yes.
But right now, so we're in the middle of winter. We're in the middle of a winter storm as well. And so many people, when they think Eastern Market, they think about that whole area, not just the market itself. But we're seeing a lot of changes right now in that entire region. Do you think that's going to help bolster your events, or is some of it also kind of a hindrance because you are bringing so many more people into that concentrated area?
I think on the net, it's a positive. I mean, I think that more and more people are interested in coming down to the Eastern Market District. I think what we're seeing is over the years, we've been able to create a safe and interesting and vibrant community that people feel welcome to come to see. And so things like, the murals in the market, and there's new retail stores that are opening up that are fun, and it gets people off of the market campus and into the neighborhood more. And I think they're having a good time, and it's fun to discover all these little places that are kind of tucked away and in this, in a working food district. So there's something completely authentic about the district. It's not glitzy, it's not glamorous. It's just authentic Detroit, and we're kind of proud to be a part of it, and proud to support those that are coming into the market with their new business ideas. And then you have the DeQuinder Cut. That's right there. So there's great ways to have like a complete perfect, what I think is a perfect Detroit day of coming to the market, perhaps renting a bike and getting out into the district and hitting the DeQuinder Cut and, seeing more of the city that way.
And I used to work at Quane Communications, that building, and it was right around the corner. So it was great to be able to walk over to the market for lunch or to meet friends afterwards for dinner. But it's like you said, it is an experience. And the great thing is you do have the bicycles that are right there at Eastern Market. People can rent, because you experience Detroit and you experience the area differently, walking or biking through the area, and it's continued to change. And I think the improvements have been fabulous and also very welcoming, because the one thing we want to see is that this is a market for everyone. Right. And to continue to have it and serve all of the communities here in the area, because like Milano Bakery, one of my favorite bakeries still to go to.
Yeah, it's been, and there's more things happening all of the time. There's new, and sometimes people get upset because some things go away, but, we have to embrace the change and understand that we're going to have new and exciting folks that are coming. There's always a reason to come down to Eastern Market.
Right. And we are seeing some of those outlying abandoned buildings that are starting to be renovated as well. But the murals are amazing. With that, just a couple more minutes here with you on the MegaCast. We're speaking with Christine Quane. She's the Food Hub and Innovation Director over at Eastern Market Partnership. Anything in the works for this upcoming year? It's really a year of survival.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to plan in the middle of a pandemic.
Yes, I think that what we're trying to do is just hold on to all the businesses that we have and trying to do our best to support those folks that are struggling to kind of stay alive during this time. But I think that there are, new business ideas that are coming. One of the projects that we have that it's coming online that we're working on is we have an accelerator. So we also support, in addition to farms, we also support food entrepreneurs that are making food products in our kitchen and in our Eastern Market kitchen. But after they've gone to scale, they need a place of their own to dedicate. And so we've been building out a 5-suite accelerator for individual use for businesses to scale their business in that direction. So that's kind of an exciting project that we've been working on that we're getting better at, and we'll see more businesses come online there.
Do you anticipate that arena to continue to grow? Because I know even urban farming there in the Detroit area has taken off, but it's attracting new and different people to the area.
Yeah, people have been, especially in the pandemic, some folks have unfortunately lost their jobs, and it's been a time for them to pivot their careers and to start that food business dream that maybe they've always had. And so we've seen a lot of interest in food businesses wanting to be in our commercial kitchen space in that area. So, and there's a lot of creativity out there, and sometimes in the moment of crisis, we're drawn to our best and most innovative and creative selves. So that's what we're hoping to foster through this pandemic and hopefully into the new year.
Oh, most definitely. I'm cooking challenged. So the food scene here in Detroit continues to grow and to improve. And so I have so much admiration and respect for some of these chefs and the individuals that are saying, let me go for my dream. Their passion is cooking and feeding other people. So let's hope that continues in the future as well. Christine, so great to have you with us here. We so appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. It's been fun.
Okay, anything quickly before we let you go that maybe we didn't touch on that you want to share?
I maybe just want to let folks know that if they are interested in ordering from our Saturday Curbside program, they can always go to easternmarket.org and find out all of the events that we're having in the market and other things that they're interested. All things Eastern Market, easternmarket.org.
Well, thank you so much. Christine Quane with us here on the MegaCast.